Yo yo, got another Warhammer video for today, and after getting a little feedback on my last one, I'm gonna do this one a little bit different. So I'm not shooting at homeless Russians. This ain't Tarkov, what's gives? Well, this is Warhammer, and before I tell about this game, I want to tell you about another game. And that game is also called Warhammer. Well, actually it's called Warhammer Fantasy. So it was a tabletop game that I played as a kid. You basically buy these plastic miniatures. You gotta assemble them and paint them yourself because they come gray, not like this. These are some beautiful miniatures. And the game was played by rolling dice to determine what actually happened. There were rule books with different stats and units and all sorts of cool abilities. And the reason I bring this up is because Warhammer was a pretty important part of my childhood. Dad, if you're watching, do you remember this? This is the very first model you bought me. I think you helped me put it together and I ended up painting it. You were proud and I was proud, and it really got me started into this weird, cool world that I had no clue existed. And every week I would look forward to going to Gamers Conclave. It was the local game shop where you could play Magic or Warhammer or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever it was at the time. And that was amazing until Hurricane Katrina hit, and I would never step inside Gamers Conclave again. I'd trade in my paints and plastics and go from a tabletop gamer to a capital G gamer. Until now. So yeah, this video game is a loving recreation of the game I played as a kid. And from what I could tell, the developers really cherish this game as well. They get so many details just perfect. And now I get to play my favorite childhood game all over. But this time with friends. And no more waiting around rolling dice. It's all happening real time. So I've been pretty blown away by what I've seen so far. So let's get into the second episode. What are we looking at here? Well, this is our armies. On the left is my team. I'm the Wood Elves, obviously little elf guys. And I've got Tommy playing as Kislev. They're kind of like fantasy Russians. On the right, we've got Gaba and Supercut. And they're both playing the basically fantasy China. So one of my favorite parts of the game is how different every army is. So Tommy is in blue. Like, you can see how many troops he has. Wood Elves can't put that many actual, what they call models, like soldiers on the battlefield, because they cost more gold. Like, the game is balanced around costs. So you can't have 15 dragons, because one dragon might cost the same as, 3 units of infantry. So yeah, Tommy's got a lot more units than I do. And my general game plan was to let him kind of not take all the fire, but be the front lines. And then my specialized kind of sniper guys could come in and start picking apart the enemy. So you can see I've got some guys forward, more forward than the rest of the army. That's because they have special rules that let them deploy farther up. I had a feeling that they would, like, the enemy would have some units in this forest, and it turns out they actually did. They've got some gunners, cool looking gunners, as well as, I did not know they had a giant up in there, but I had 3 squads ready to kind of try to get into that. Like I said, Tommy's got a lot of infantry, but he's also got a lot of cavalry. He's got some pretty cool looking heavy cavalry over here. He's got these goddamn guys riding bears, amazing. And then he's got these sleds that are pulled by bears, powered by ice magic, and shoot guns out the side. So yeah, let's go ahead and get it started and see what happens. Immediately, our guys start shooting each other because we deployed so close to each other. So you can see my archers are already seeing his gunners and shooting into them. Not getting too many shots because the forest will protect you from getting hit. And this is my lord. Basically, each army has a general, and mine is on an eagle. Kind of like that eagle you helped me paint, Dad. But yes, she is, I say she, it's 2 twins, and they shoot bows. It's basically like a giant artillery piece on top of a highly mobile eagle. I'm sure it's very annoying to deal with. So I end up trying to get my flanks going. Tommy's got some of his cavalry going. Let's see what's happening over here. Gaba loves these guys, and they're really cool. They're basically cavalry that can fly, And he uses them pretty effectively to, like, look at these guys. They're caught out. My archers have nothing. If they get charged, what are they going to do versus dragon spearmen, you know? So, good play by him. It looks like he's going to go ahead and charge into them. And I immediately start running them. I'm like, oh god. These guys are going to get murdered. Going over here. Let me explain what this is. As you can see, every time I shoot at him, they're getting reflected back into me. He's got a giant terracotta warrior that's blessed by Chinese magic. And I didn't even realize this till I watched the replay. I'm taking all sorts of damage. My guys can shoot while they run, so they're accidentally shooting into themselves while he charges my back line. It's a great play. I'm going to pause real quick because so much stuff's already happening. Gaba's flying cavalry have been now met by my war dancers. These guys carry spears. Generally, anything in the game with a spear is going to be good against cavalry because they can long poke. So my archers are still tied up in here, but I also brought my spearmen in to try to start hacking at his guys and trying to get my archers out. And uh-oh, he's got yet another terracotta warrior giant coming in. This one's not as scary because it doesn't have that special Chinese blessing, but it is still equally scary because if it gets in, my guys can... What are you going to do with a spear versus Godzilla, you know? Taking a look at the back line, looks like Connor slowly advancing his infantry up. Their general is this guy. I'm not going to tell you what he does. We'll see here in a little bit. And they also have these flying hot air balloons, which are manned by, let me see if I can get in, these gunners, which are pretty nasty. So yeah, let's go ahead and replay the battle here. Terracotta warrior is going to come and slam into my units. Meanwhile, my guys are still trying to run away from his green giant over here. And Tommy's moving some of his swords in position to deal with it. Looking at the top, I've got my lord on the giant eagle, making sure that these gunners can't get any shots off. If they're engaged in melee, they can't shoot. So it's a really good use of your lord because they have so much health. They have as much health as a whole unit of infantry. So I'm in no danger. And look, now they're already running. They're terrified of this eagle that's tearing them up. Ah, I missed it. But their Chinese general, surprise, surprise, can turn into a Chinese dragon, which he's done. And Gaba loves his dragons, and rightly so. They're extremely powerful. Looks like I've successfully got some of my archers out, or they all died, and Tommy's guys have gone in. His dragon is pushing up, which is going to cause all sorts of problems for me. So I believe I start focusing everything. Oh, I need to get some fire breath off. That little green bar is my health. These guys ain't got much left. But I had a feeling he kept bringing dragons. So I brought this funny fairy-looking lady. And she can cast tornadoes to catch him in there. And look how many shots I'm getting in. He's pinned down. And my entire army is now shooting him. He's almost half health. It's not looking great for him. Over in the back, Tommy must have brought his bears in, and we killed that giant green dragon. I mean, sorry, the green terracotta warrior. If he would have been a little bit more supported by some infantry, he probably could have teared it up. But, like, unfortunately, all their infantry is still in the back line. He kind of pushed them up a little too fast to really do too much. More dragon breaths going out, and again, kind of the same thing. His dragon is nasty, but it's got no support. Where are the Chinese peasants to take all the attacks? Oh, here they are. They're coming up late. Smart peasants, smart peasants. So his general is fleeing. Once a unit's hurt too much, they run for their lives, which is what happens, and we end up getting to shoot them all the way down. Over here, his other warrior is just tearing up the infantry units. Peasants, hundreds and hundreds of peasants are pushing up. Might be too little too late here. Meanwhile, the sky machines, the flying machines, are giving some firing support. I think this is Connor's dragon. I thought his dragon came back to life, but I forgot they had two of the same general. So another dragon to deal with. And again, diving into that back line is good. If my archers are stuck, I can't be shooting. So now it's up to us. We have to deal with one giant scary warrior plus a dragon. Which I guess he turned back into a... no, he's turning back. We get to watch him transform this time. Maybe? No, he's just casting spells. Okay. So yeah, this is the part of the battle where it gets very chaotic. I mean, everyone's kind of stuck together. You've got bears fighting giant Godzilla warriors. You've got other bears just stuck in the middle fighting peasants. Spells are going off. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. You call out roots from the world. Oops. And it'll just start eating whatever unit it's casted on. We've got some support from the back. I guess my archers, yeah, they're half health, but they still have some ammo. So they're going to go ahead and shoot into this mass of peasants. And if you hover over, you can see they're kind of losing. Their health bar is going down, and we're hanging in there. On the left, they're looking decent over here. Gabba is with his giant terracotta warriors. They're just chopping people up. Looks like I'm trying to get a cavalry charge into the back of this peasants. And Tommy's Griffin Knights have turned around. And they're going to get a rear charge into them. Send them flying. So in this game, attacking in the flank or in the rear is very helpful. These little white lines are their leadership. And if you can get that leadership down, they end up running. So they're effectively useless. So yeah, charging cavalry into the back of someone that's already fighting is wonderful. Looks like I've tied up another one of their ships into a Tempest. And we're going to start shooting to that, trying to get it going. Yeah, this battle wasn't as tactically sounded as the other ones. Kind of just devolves into this massive melee mess. But I wanted to just get another one in. I made sure it was 4K this time, so it should look extra crispy and nice for you guys. There's really not too much more to say about this one. Again, I think it was kind of a misplay that their peasants didn't move up and kind of screen some of their giant units. Like, so you could still see all the peasants are alive. You know, the peasants should die way before the nobility does. And yeah, I'm just gonna fast forward it. It's pretty much over at this point. My general starts getting hit up pretty good. That dragon does not want to go down. I guess we're running out of arrows. But yeah, it was another fun game. Hopefully I get more of these. I'm having a blast playing. I hope y'all are having fun watching. Hope my explanation makes this a little bit more sense. And yeah, I'm going to try to get better and better at making videos as I go. Thanks, guys.